this chapter, it represents the analysis of what influencing e-wallet adoption among students in UMS. Based on findings, 131 respondents were involved. 129 of them were currently studying in UMS, meanwhile 12 of them were undergraduate students, making a respondent rate is 100%. Based on the profile, there were 131 respondents involved, which is male and female students were respondents involved. The respondents came from various classes of age, faculties, and years of study. The analysis also collected e-wallet usage frequency among students and what kind of e-wallet they prefer to use.
For descriptive analysis in section 4.3, we evaluated three factors among 131 students. First, regarding perceived usefulness. Students felt e-wallet improved their efficiency with a mean score of 3.83. Second, for perceived ease of use, students found that system is navigate, scoring a mean of 3.71. Finally, for intention to use, we record a mean of 3.8.2. showing that students strongly intend to keep using these services regularly in their life in the future. Now moving to our reliability analysis, in section 4.4, we use cron batch alpha to ensure data is consistent. A construct is considered reliable if alpha value is greater than 0.70. Our result for perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and intention to use all exceeding 9.4. which is rated as excellent. This proves that our survey questions are very consistent and our findings are highly stable and trustworthy.
Okay, first, the correlation analysis shows that perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and intention of use all have strong and positive relationship. Among them, perceived ease of use has the strongest correlation with intention to use, indicating that students are more likely to use an e-wallet if they find it easy to operate. Okay, next is regression analysis. It shows that our model explains 88.1% of variation in students' intention to use e-wallets, which means the model has excellent predictive power. The ANOVA test is also statistically significant, confirming that the regression model is reliable. Looking at the coefficient, both receive usefulness and receive ease to ease significantly influence intention of use. However, perceive of use has the stronger impact with the beta value, which is 0.683 compared to 0.280 for perceived usefulness. In the hypothesis testing, both H1 and H2 are supported since both variables have p-value below 0.001. In conclusion, while both factors encourage students to adopt e-wallets, ease of use is the most influential factor affecting their intention of the use of the technology. Thank you.
To summarize our finding in 4.8 summary of chapter 4.0 data analysis and findings. Part 1. Our 131 MS respondents were primarily male students aged 21 to 23 from Faculty of Economics and Accountancy. Most use e-wallet very frequently, with my bank being the top choice due to trust and efficiency. Our reliability analysis confirmed excellent internal consistency, and our correlation finding shows a strong positive relation with all variables. Notably, the strongest link was between intention to use and perceived ease of use, which validate the core assumption of the technology acceptance model TAM. Concluding with the analysis in 4.8 summary of chapter 4.0 data analysis and finding, part 2. Our regression model explained a significant 88.1% of the variance in e-wallet intention. Both perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use will confirm as significant positive predictors. Most importantly, perceived ease of use proved to be the stronger predictor with a beta of 0.683, which is more double the influence of perceived usefulness. This suggests that for a student, a system simplicity is the primary driver for adoption. Confirm our hypothesis that both factors positively influence the intention to use e-wallets.
Hello, I'll be presenting the discussion of our research findings, and overall both perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use were found to have a significant positive relationship with students' intention to use e-wallet. meaning both our hypotheses were supported. For perceived usefulness, it showed that students are more willing to use e-wallet because they make transactions faster, more efficient, and more convenient. However, perceived ease of use had a stronger influence on adoption, indicating that students place greater importance on applications that are simple, intuitive, and easy to operate. Overall, these findings support the technology acceptance model and suggest that e-wallet providers should focus on both useful features and a user-friendly interface to encourage continued adoption among university students.
Today I'll be sharing our research on the factors that drive e-wallets adoption amongst UMS students. To understand this, we use technology acceptance model, which is TAM. Our regression analysis shows that incredible result, just two variables, perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use, account for a massive 88.1% of students' intention to use an e-wallet. First, let's take a look perceived usefulness. Students highly value speed and convenience. The highest rated factor here was transaction efficiency with a mean score of 3.88. Simply put, if an app saves time on daily payment, students want to use it. However, the most dominant driver is actually perceived for ease of use. Its impact on behavior is more than double or that of usefulness. For UMS student, a simple user-friendly interface is non-negotiable. Our data shows a clear link. If an app is easy to navigate, students immediately perceive it as usefulness. It is important to note that our study limitation sample, we surveyed 131 students via convenience sampling, heavily skewing towards year 3 business major. Time. This is a cross-sectional snapshot, not a long-term trend study. And when it comes to variable, by strictly using TAM, we miss other real factor by that impact youth adoption. Moving forward, we recommend future researchers to do these three things. First, expand the research to include other public and private universities across Malaysia. Second, secure a larger and diverse sampling size to improve reliability. And third, upgrade to a more robust model like UAT, which includes modern variables like trust, security, and social influencer. By focusing on these three areas, we can better tailor financial technology for the future.
Now I'm going to go on the conclusion. So based on the studies, the main purpose was to investigate the factor influencing students' acceptance of e-wallet using the technology acceptance model while focusing on the usefulness and the perceived ease of use. And we, in the findings, shows that both factor significantly influence students' intention to use e-wallets. The descriptive analysis show positive perception with high mean scores for perceived usefulness, perceived ease of use, and intention to use. And additionally, this variable explain 88.1% of the variance, showing that a strong predictor of e-wallet adoption. In terms of the hypothesis testing, both hypotheses were supported. However, a perceived ease of use had a stronger influence compared to perceived of usefulness. This means that students are more likely to adopt e-wallets if they find them simple and easy to use. So, in the conclusion, our study confirmed that the technology acceptance model is effective in explaining the e-wallet adoption among the UMS students, and it provides useful recommendation for e-wallet providers to enhance the system and user experience. I think that's all. Thank you.